So in Portuguese, we have what we call the conjugations. The conjugations is basically a way that we have to organize the verbs in order to know how to adapt these verbs according to different circumstances and tenses. So let's start about the conjugations now. We have the verbs that we call the verbs of the first conjugation. So the conjugations are determined by the ending of the verb. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is called the first conjugation. We have this, that is the second conjugation, and we have this, that is the third conjugation. In the first conjugation, we have all the verbs that finish in R. So, for example, verbs of the first conjugation and that are regular: falar, estudar, praticar. So, falar means to speak, estudar, to study, and praticar, to practice. We have the verbs of the second conjugation, for example, comer, which means to eat. We have also fazer, that means to do, and obedecer, that means to obey. And we have some examples of verbs of the third conjugation. For example, dormir, that means to sleep, sair, that means to leave, or the verb sentir, that means to feel. So these are some examples of verbs on the first, second, and third conjugation. We also have what we call the irregular verbs. Then for regular verbs, we organize them in these conjugations, and all the conjugations will follow specific rules to be conjugated in Portuguese. But for regular verbs, there is a different way to conjugate them. If you want to know some of these irregular verbs, you can take a look on the PDF material that I will give you on the description of this class, okay? So up to here, you just need to understand that for regular verbs, you gotta identify the ending of the verb, and this is the way that you conjugate them in this first, second, or third conjugation, okay? Keep that in mind. This is really important in order to progress in your learning, okay? See you in the next classes.